Good morning and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm filming on my iPhone 12 Pro Max because today's the day we're going to go and get our injection, hopefully our vaccination. So it's literally 6 in the morning or 10 past 6, we woke up 10 minutes ago. We've just gotten changed, we're about to head out and I kind of thought I would try and vlog this. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to film, so that's why I'm using my phone rather than my big camera because I kind of think this is a little less obvious what I'm doing rather than my big camera. So I'm going to film on this, so excuse the quality, but I thought it could be interesting to see what the process is like here in the States and also here in Miami in terms of what we do. So basically today is the 5th of April, Monday 5th of April, and today is the day where everybody over the age of 18 can get their vaccination so long as they are a resident of the States. I don't know if that's for the whole state or if it's just Miami, or like just Florida, I'm not sure. I know, so we're going to go along and we are up super early. I think it opens at 7, so we're hoping to get there by about 6:30 so that we can be one of the first people in line. I think it's basically first come, first serve, so we kind of want to be there early and make sure we do get a vaccine. And then hopefully we'll be able to get a second one before we leave Miami. So this is the plan. So yeah, let's go. I'm going to take you along with me. We are up before the sun, just waiting for the Uber now. I think it's on its way, so it should be here in a second and then we'll be going. This is the queue. We had to jump out of our Uber because otherwise we'd have been stuck here for hours. So I've jumped out and we're now walking. So yeah, I'm kind of glad that we don't have a car and we have to Uber because it just means that we can now walk basically to the front and not have to worry about parking. And there's people checking as well, like security checking people in line and making sure no one's like skipping the queue and things. So yeah, we're walking there now. It's now about 7 AM, I guess, 10 to 7, something like that. So hopefully we'll be one of the first. I don't even think it's open yet, so okay. I'll let you know when we're there. Okay, so we're through the first checkpoint. We're now walking to a tent to hopefully get the vaccine. Okay, so we didn't get our injection because we didn't have things printed. So we've got our bank statement on my phone, we've got our like documents and things, everything's on the phone, not printed. And then because we don't have a car, we can't go and print anything, so we're going back home. And we're going to come back either tomorrow or Wednesday or Thursday and get the Johnson & Johnson one jab thing. So basically, we spent $40 to get here, got up at 6 in the morning for no reason. So I'm continuing this vlog when we come back another day this week. Okay, change of plan. We're going to walk to a local FedEx, try and get the papers printed and then come back again. Because Jeremy would rather get this injection, which I think is the Moderna, right? Because otherwise it'd be the Johnson & Johnson and Jeremy wants the other ones rather than that one. So, we're walking to UPS, which opens at 8, so it's now 7:20. And then hopefully we'll get the papers printed and come back. So we're going to try 7-Eleven gas station, otherwise we're going to try Walgreens, otherwise we're going to wait until 8 AM and go to FedEx. So I'll keep you updated. Okay, so no look at the 7-Eleven. We're now sat outside Walgreens because the FedEx is inside Walgreens, which opens at 8 o'clock in about 20 minutes. So we're going to try and get some papers printed here, otherwise we're just going to go home and come back another day. So again, we shall see. Okay, so the person who works at Walgreens just arrived. They said they don't have a printer. They're doing vaccines, but it would be at the end of the day to kind of have one left over. So we're gonna just go back home and come back another day for the Johnson & Johnson, I think. So that's the end of today's adventures. We're gonna head home now and then I'll carry on this vlog actually when we hopefully get it done next time in the next couple of days.
Good
Good morning. We literally woke up 5 minutes ago again, but this is attempt number 2. Jeremy's just booking the Uber now, and then hopefully we'll be able to get the injection today because we've got like 5 papers printed off. They said we needed 2, so we've got 5, and Jeremy should be okay with his paperwork that he's got, so fingers crossed this isn't a waste of time and money again. So we're gonna head. Yesterday, but we're here at least waiting, so hopefully we'll be able to get the injection. Okay, so we got through the first checkpoint. I've literally got 4 pieces of paper with my proof of residency, so that was 3, which is good. So we're now heading towards the tents. Oh my god, fingers crossed we get it today. Okay, so they've checked our papers and we're now through the first section, queuing up for the vaccine. It's now about 9:10, so I think we were there for about two hours, from 6:30 till 8:30, and we ended up finishing at 8:30, so we're now back home. I've got my little plaster. I was not very brave. I'm going to break it down and kind of talk to you in a little second, but we've just got home at about 9:10, so I'm going to talk to you later on and kind of talk to you about the whole process and also any side effects that I feel. So I'll be back very, very soon to talk to you about that. So it is now 3 p.m, which means it's been about 7 hours since we got our injections this morning. I just kind of want to give you an update so far as how I'm feeling. So I feel absolutely fine, no side effects at all. My arm feels fine, I can move it around. I do feel a little bit queasy doing things like that because I'm not very good with things like that. So I am being very careful with my arm, but it doesn't hurt at all. Jeremy, on the other hand, said he has some pain in his arm. He's not sure if it's kind of, I've asked him if it's kind of aching or stinging. He's not really answered. I think it's probably more like an ache. So he's experiencing some pain. I'm not experiencing any pain, but like I said, I'm really not moving my arm around a whole lot because that kind of grosses me out. But I kind of want to talk about what happened this morning in terms of the vaccine. So we arrived at 6:30 and there was like a huge queue of people, and then the cars were all lined up as well. I think you saw some of that in the video this morning, and they were just letting them go through. They kept letting the cars go. And the people who were standing, we kind of were stood there for a good while, at least an hour, I think, before we kind of got let through the first section. Now, the first section, they checked our ID and they checked our residency, Florida residency. Obviously, because we're not American, we kind of had to prove that we actually live here. So yesterday we did the same. Obviously, didn't have the papers. Today I had 5 separate pieces of paper to prove that I live here in Miami. So that was fine. We then joined another queue, and we had the same guys yesterday who was saying, you know, you need the paperwork, and we needed the paperwork to be checked this time. And he was telling us to get to the back of this queue, which was, I think all the people from the cars were coming through this queue. So we thought, we're not going to go round to the back of this other queue. Anyway, ended up talking to one of the other guards or helpers, I guess, like the people checking the paperwork. He said it was fine. So then we got in the queue for the next section. We then had to do a QR code and scan on our phones and fill out a form just to say our name, our date of birth, where we live, the address, and then also state if we had any medical conditions, if we agreed to get the vaccine, if we were pregnant or breastfeeding, if we have any allergies, like I said, if we have any disabilities, just kind of all these, you know, kind of standard medical form, filled it all out on our phones, and then we had our own QR code from that form. So then we were in the queue outside. I couldn't actually film anything of the process once we kind of got into the tents. They say no filming and no photography, so I respected that obviously, and I think it's run by the army and police. I didn't really want to be caught filming anything, honestly. So we then walked through a tent, like a big gazebo tent, and they had orange splodges on the floor, probably 2 meters away from each other. So we were all in a line going through this kind of, you know, they do queues like that, like at the airport. And we had to stand on the orange splodges every time. So I took some Cadbury mini eggs with me. That's when I started snacking on a couple of Cadbury mini eggs, just to make sure I did have something in my stomach before the injection, because I'm not very good with injections. So I kind of thought, okay, sugar will give me some energy, so I should be fine. So once we finished that zigzaggy one, we went through to another one and we sat down at a table. We gave them our QR code thing that they gave us from the online form, and they signed us in and gave us a little sticker with our name on it, our date of birth, and then also I think that had a little code on as well, like a barcode thing. And then we walked through to another section and sat down for a little while, only like 2 or 3 minutes. It was really, really quick. It was really good. Sat down for a couple of minutes and then got called into the next tent, which was where we had the injection. So this was a big gazebo tent again with kind of, I really don't know how many tables, maybe 20 tables or something. And each table had 2 people on there. So there's one person who was scanning your code and then the other person giving the injection. So they asked to scan my code, my little sticker that I had on my jacket, asked me how old I was, and then also asked me if I want to have the injections. They said, how old are you? 33. And do you agree that you want to get the Johnson & Johnson vaccine? Yes. And then they did it. So personally for me, the pain, because some injections can be different. Some can feel cold, some can feel stingy and tingly. This one felt heavy, and I don't really know how else to describe it apart from heavy. Like, it hurt. I mean, no, it didn't even hurt. It just felt weird, and I hate anything that feels weird. I'm such a fainter. So she injected me, she said I was good to go. So I just shoved everything in my bag, because straight away I was like, oh my God, I feel weird. Like, I just don't feel well. And like I said, it just kind of felt heavy in my arm, as if there was a little weight hanging off my arm or something weird, I know. So then we went on separate tables. They don't allow you to be in couples or anything. So then we met each other at the next section, which was where we had to sit for 15 minutes. And I think this is just to make sure that people are okay, they're not fainting, and also there's no allergic reactions. So there's kind of a whole medical team there and ambulances and people to help you and make sure you're okay. So we sat down, and all the way from like getting the injection to then sitting down, I was like, Jeremy, no, I don't feel okay, Jeremy. So managed to sit down, and I was kind of crying and trying really hard not to faint, because I'm quite a fainter. And I literally, if I feel like that, I just have to lay on the floor and have my feet in the air. But I thought, I don't want to be dramatic. I don't want everyone looking at me. I don't want to have to go to ambulance or hospital or like have this big palaver. So I was like, no, you're not going to faint. So I was like hitting myself on my knee, tapping my paper on my hand, like doing something just to try and distract me. Jeremy was great talking to me as well. So I was eating mini eggs, drinking a bit of water, and we were all kind of sat on seats that were quite spaced apart. But I was crying, and I was just trying so hard not to like think about it. Like, just thinking about having that feeling in my arm just made me feel really weird. So then one of the women came over to see me. I think she noticed I was crying and upset. So she came over and she asked how I was, and I said, no, I just feel a bit weird and I'll try not to faint. So she brought over, I think it was like a little like hand wash anesthetic wipe things. I think it was that she held under my nose, and I don't know why that works. I guess it might be the smell that makes you feel safe, or must release some hormones in your brain or something. I don't know, either way it worked. So she held that for me for a couple of minutes and was talking to me about where we're from and the weather and chocolate and like whatever, just trying to help me, I guess, get my mind off of it all. So then she left me and I kind of sat there smelling it again. I'm going to pop the little photo here because I was like, Jeremy, can you take a photo of me being brave while I'm sat there with like tears on my mask and like holding this sniffy thing with a bag of chocolates on my lap. So yeah, that happened, and then we ended up signing out. So they scanned my little barcode, little sticker again, and then that was it. And then we got the taxi home, and then since then, honestly, I've felt fine. Like, I've got a sore neck anyway from just this past couple of days. I've had a really stiff neck. But in terms of the injection, like I said, I'm not particularly moving my arm around. I'm not doing a whole lot. Like, I'm not, you know, doing any exercise or anything crazy. So yeah, honestly, at the moment I feel fine. I'm going to check in with you maybe later today. Otherwise it'll be tomorrow, just to see if I have any kind of symptoms or side effects. Because I looked online, I think things like a headache might happen, nausea, feeling ill generally, and having a sore arm and sore muscles and things. So there are some side effects that might happen, so I kind of want to check in later on or tomorrow and see how I get on. But otherwise, so far so good, and like I said, it has been 7 hours now, so I'm pretty happy about that. So yeah, I'll talk to you very soon, either later on or tomorrow, about how I'm getting on. So it's currently around 8:30 p.m, so it's been around 12 hours since we got the vaccine this morning. Just a quick update, I feel completely fine. I don't move my arm a whole lot because, like I said, it kind of grosses me out, but I think that's more kind of a psychological thing rather than an actual pain thing. I had a shower, hence why my hair is wet. So like moving that up and kind of doing my hair a little bit kind of grossed me out a little bit, I'll be honest, just moving my shoulder, but it's not pain. Like I said, I think it's more psychological. So I feel completely fine. However, Jeremy feels like he's getting a fever. He's taken some pills, like some painkillers. He kind of feels a bit achy and tired and hot and cold and feverish, so he's not great. So that's the update for tonight. Like I said, I will update you tomorrow morning as well and kind of let you know how we're getting on tomorrow. If Jeremy's any better, if I feel any side effects, we shall see. But that's the update for tonight, so 12 hours later. So yeah, I'll check back tomorrow and let you know how we're getting on. So it's the next day. It's currently about 12 p.m, so it's been about 28 hours since we got the injection. I just kind of wanted to let you know how we're doing now. So first off, last night, try and get to sleep. So I currently have a sore neck. I mentioned that earlier in the video. I also had heartburn last night and obviously my arm. So I was leaning on my shoulder to get to sleep because I sleep oftentimes on, you know, on my sides. And when I leant on this side, I felt weird and queasy, so I had to stop. So I basically spent the whole night sleeping on my back or on my right side. And again, having the problems with my neck as well. So I didn't sleep particularly well again. But in terms of how I'm feeling, like I don't feel ill at all. I definitely feel, I can tell I've had an injection still. So it's not back to normal. It's not like my right arm. It does feel heavy almost, and oh, that just made me feel ill. So I'm really not moving it a lot. Like I kind of feel it in my shoulder if I move it around, so I'm trying not to move my shoulder. But in terms of headache, fever, feeling ill, I feel absolutely fine. Jeremy, on the other hand, he said he feels heavy today, so he felt a little bit ill yesterday with a bit of flu symptoms. Today he said he feels heavy and just tired and like his body is fighting something, I guess. So that's how we're both dealing with it. Like I said, in terms of movement, I'm not moving it at all. So I'm going to check in with you later on today and maybe even tomorrow and just kind of see how this pans out and how we get on with it. I don't want to rush this video and just give you a 24-hour kind of update. I do want to let you know in the next coming days how we're getting on. So yeah, my arm is definitely still not back to normal. It still feels weird. I feel weird. I feel a bit queasy and sick sometimes if I think about it. But I think a lot of that is mostly mental. It's not actual pain. It's more just that it feels weird. So that's the update for today. Like I said, I might check in later on today or tomorrow and kind of let you know how we're getting on again. Okay, little update. So it's about 10 p.m. on Wednesday and we had the injection yesterday morning. So it's been a day and a half. Tomorrow morning it'll be 2 days. Today I felt tired and my arm still aches, like moving it around. It was this arm, so I don't even want to move it, but like kind of moving it any amount makes me feel weird and fuzzy and dizzy and a bit sick. But I think that's more just me in terms of how I react to injections and things. It doesn't particularly hurt. It just aches a little bit and I can just tell that I've had an injection, if that makes sense, and that kind of grosses me out. So that's how that feels. I've had a little bit of I was sweaty and like really hot and sweaty, but then Jeremy felt my temperature on my head and like my body and I felt cold. So I guess I've had a bit of a fever. I still feel okay, like I've not really had a headache. I don't feel like I've had a cold or flu, but I must have had some sort of kind of fever symptoms, I guess. But I kind of feel okay, honestly. Jeremy's feeling a little bit better today. He's been taking pills all day to kind of help him. I think he's feeling better. He just says his body feels kind of tired and heavy almost as well. I stood outside actually for 20 minutes talking to a friend, and then when I came back in I was like, oh God, I'm knackered now. Like my body just kind of like, my legs and my back kind of felt tired from standing for 20 minutes. So yeah, I think I've just got a lot going on, obviously with being tired and having the injection, and also have my sore neck as well. So I'm not sleeping well because of either that and my neck as well. So I'm kind of got, you know, two things in one at the moment. But otherwise, I mean, I feel kind of okay, honestly. So we'll chat back tomorrow and let you know how we're getting on tomorrow, in case anything changes, in case we feel better or worse. So I just took 2 ibuprofen while I was having my dinner, so about an hour or 2 ago. But apart from that, I've not really had anything. So we'll see tomorrow if I need more, if I feel better or worse. So I'll check in tomorrow with you. So it's been a couple of days since I last spoke to you on Wednesday. My arm still hurt on Thursday, and by Friday everything was absolutely fine. We haven't had any of the side effects. We feel absolutely fine since Friday. So it did take a couple of days for my arm to stop hurting and aching a little bit. But apart from that, nothing really, and honestly it was a really good experience. So that's kind of it for this video. I'm going to round it off here. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and yeah, I will see you in the next video. Bye.